In the next 10 minutes, we are diving deep into a single name that has defined the tech world for nearly half a century: Oracle. This is the definitive story of how a small consulting firm transformed into a $500 billion powerhouse. It all started in 1977. Larry Ellison and his partners were working on a top-secret project for the CIA, codenamed Oracle. While the giants of the day were slow to move, these three saw a revolution coming: the relational database. Ellison was inspired by a research paper from an IBM scientist. IBM didn't see the commercial value, but Ellison did. He took the concept and built a proprietary system that would change how the world stores information forever. In 1979, they released the first commercial SQL database. In a brilliant marketing move, they called it version 2 because they knew customers would be wary of a version 1. Their first customer, the US Air Force. In 1983, they rewrote the entire database in the C programming language. This was a masterstroke. It made Oracle portable, allowing it to run on almost any hardware, from massive mainframes to the emerging desktop PC market. Oracle went public on March 12, 1986, raising over $31 million. It was a massive success, but it happened just one day before Microsoft's own IPO. The rivalry that would define the next few decades was officially born. But hypergrowth had a dark side. In 1990, aggressive sales tactics and revenue recognition errors led to a massive crisis. The stock price crashed by 75%, and the company was on the brink of bankruptcy. Larry Ellison had to make a choice: change or fail. He brought in disciplined management and overhauled their financial controls. This period of pain was the crucible that forged the modern, efficient Oracle we see today. In 1992, they launched Oracle 7. It became the industry standard for the new era of client-server computing. It was more secure, more scalable, and it solidified Oracle's monopoly over the enterprise database market for a decade. By the early 2000s, organic growth wasn't enough. Ellison pivoted to an aggressive acquisition strategy. The first major target? PeopleSoft. It was a bitter, 18-month hostile takeover battle that cost over $10 billion. After PeopleSoft, they didn't stop. They bought Siebel Systems, the leader in CRM, for almost $6 billion. Oracle was no longer just a database company. They were the entire software stack for the world's biggest businesses. In 2010, they made their most transformative move, acquiring Sun Microsystems for $7.4 billion. This gave them control over the Java programming language and the MySQL database, putting them at the heart of the Internet's infrastructure. Ellison initially dismissed the cloud as a fad, but the $9 billion acquisition of NetSuite in 2016 proved otherwise. It was a clear signal that Oracle was finally ready to move its massive legacy footprint into the digital sky. They didn't just move existing software, they built a Generation 2 cloud from the ground up. OCI was designed specifically for the high-performance, heavy-lifting workloads that companies like OpenAI would eventually need. In 2022, Oracle made its biggest bet ever, acquiring Cerner for over $28 billion. The goal? To digitize healthcare records on a global scale and integrate them with Oracle's powerful AI and cloud tools. By 2025, Oracle had become a critical partner for the AI revolution. They secured contracts with OpenAI, Meta, and xAI. Why? Because they have the physical capacity, gigawatts of power, to train the world's largest models. Today, Oracle sits on a $553 billion backlog. That is contracted revenue, a massive safety net. They are delivering 4.5 gigawatts of power to AI training. They have become the physical utility of the digital age. Their neutral stance, allowing their database to run inside every other cloud, has led to an 800% spike in multi-cloud consumption. They aren't trying to beat the other clouds, they are becoming the essential layer inside all of them. Oracle's story is one of incredible resilience. It's about being bold enough to change your entire strategy when the world shifts. This is the emotional bond of a company that has mastered the art of long-term survival and constant evolution. Let's look at the math of the Oracle journey. In the early 80s, the compounding was starting from zero. It started with 3 people and a vision to build what IBM couldn't. They bet on EFCOD's relational model when others wouldn't. Every new contract with the Air Force was a doubling event. This was the foundation of the $3.5 million return. They brought SQL to the commercial market, transitioning from SDL to the Oracle name we know today. This phase was about establishing the monopoly and securing the primary data layer of the global economy. By the 90s and 2000s, the compounding moved into the acceleration phase. Even with the 1990 crisis, they pivoted fast. Their aggressive acquisition strategy kept the growth rate high. Buying PeopleSoft and Siebel wasn't just about software, it was about buying thousands of customers. Acquiring Sun Microsystems gave them control over Java and MySQL, controlling the heart of the internet's programming language. Subscriptions would compound for decades to come. They became the fundamental layer powering the first major web revolution. This is the stage where the snowball became an avalanche, and the market capitalization began its march toward the hundreds of billions. Now, in 2026, we are in the payoff phase. The base is so large that even a small percentage increase in cloud market share adds tens of billions to the valuation. The compounding is now technological. Each AI workload that runs on OCI makes the database smarter and the moat wider. CEO Safra Catz has projected that total revenue will reach $90 billion by 2027, implying that the massive backlog is just the beginning of a new supercycle of growth. One of the most overlooked catalysts for Oracle's growth is the dividend reinvestment plan. By reinvesting those consistent payouts, you effectively buy more shares. You buy more during market pullbacks. Over 40 years, this automatic buying can increase your share count by 50%. Dividends start earning their own dividends, without you ever adding a single extra dollar. It's the ultimate passive growth strategy, wealth building in the background. This is the final stage where you are harvesting decades of disciplined growth. It turns a great investment into a life-changing fortune. Oracle is a master of its own tools. They famously close their global books and report earnings in just 10 days, 3 times faster than the S&P 500 average. This level of operational efficiency is a direct result of their shift to the cloud, allowing them to reinvest capital faster than any competitor and maintain a lean, high-margin business model even at a massive scale. Of course, the journey has risks. Oracle's debt from massive acquisitions like Cerner is high, and the competition in the cloud from AWS and Azure is the fiercest in the history of tech. But with a $500 billion backlog and a 22% historical return, the strategy is clear. Focus on the cash flow and the structural dominance. This is how you manage a legacy position through the cycles of innovation and disruption. Looking ahead to 2026 and beyond, the autonomous database is the next frontier. It uses machine learning to patch, tune, and secure itself. This reduces human error and costs, making Oracle's moat even deeper. In the age of AI, a database that doesn't need humans is the ultimate competitive advantage, especially when it comes to securing the vast amounts of sensitive data that power modern LLMs. The most important organ for an investor isn't the brain, it's the stomach. Can you stomach the volatility of a company that once dropped 75%? Oracle's history proves that discipline and a long-term vision pay off. They've navigated every tech cycle from mainframes to AI. They are the definition of a structural winner. The infrastructure being built by Oracle in 2026 will power the world for decades to come. Don't look back in 10 years and wish you had understood the math of this legacy giant. Understand it now, act on it with discipline, and let time and compounding do the heavy lifting for your financial future. The journey of 1,000 shares starts with a single decision. The story of Oracle is still being written, and we are here to document every chapter. If you want to stay updated on these legacy giants and the math of the future, hit that like button and subscribe. It's the best way to support our educational mission and keep your portfolio ahead of the curve. Your support means everything to us as we grow this channel. The best time to understand the math of companies like Oracle was 40 years ago. The second best time is today. I'm honored to be part of your financial journey. Subscribe for more deep dives into the giants of tech, and I'll see you in the next one. Let's keep compounding toward a brighter future. Start your journey today.